interesting when you mentioned that you sometimes sprain your ankles just walking. So can you talk a little bit more about how that happens and how other injuries have impacted you?
Yeah, well, I find that it's the second that I'm not thinking, like in the studio, I feel like I'm always like aware, but the second, you know, like I take a step outside, I don't see a step, I don't see a hole, you know, it's just things like when I'm not aware of everything, that's when it all goes down.
Yeah, well, and how do those injuries sort of affect you in class? Do you feel like you come back a little bit slower than everybody else? Do you know how to handle your body and how to kind of get back into it? If other injuries that you've had, have they changed the way that you approach coming back into dance and coming back into a season?
So I have been so lucky. Once again, I'm going to knock on wood. I've only had one injury that has taken me out of a show. And luckily,
everybody knock on wood right now.
I know, right?
I just did.
But I had, and of course, it was a weird one. It wasn't like I just did something, you know, and like twisted my ankle. It was over time, I noticed my right ankle. And I don't know, maybe this has to do with my hypermobility. I never really figured out what caused it. But over time, all of a sudden, my right ankle started feeling really stiff. And then the more and more I did, I just quit being able to like go on point and like rolling down, it hurt. And then all of a sudden I got like this bubble on the top of my foot. And
oh my
it was
gosh.
like fluid. And I was like, okay, this is weird. I need to, you know, figure this out. And it turns out I just had fluid in my ankle joint. So they had to go in and suck it out, which was honestly like a very easy, I don't even know if you can call it a procedure, to be honest. Just a tiny little needle and like pulling fluid out. But it came back twice again. So it was like, it just continued to fill up. And so now I'm kind of like just waiting for it to happen again. But that's really been the only like injury that I have had.
Wow.
So I've been really lucky, and I hate to comment on injuries because I feel like I have just been very fortunate through.
Well, and I think that also speaks to the people like Mary Elena in your life who have sort of helped bring you along in a really healthy way, and to Adam for seeing your potential and not immediately throwing you into every single thing as a 17 or 18-year-old, but looking at it for sort of the long haul and helping you sort of gradually grow into yourself as an artist and also as an athlete. So you've been so fortunate to have some great people in your career that have kind of shepherded you along with that big picture in mind. That's fantastic.